Rolling?
You're rolling. We're live.
Let me see here. Can I share it up? Anybody, can I share it up? What's up? Welcome, everyone, to Outdoors with Nolan and Chad, Brady, Texas. Man, it's nice and overcast outside today.
Dude, wrong show. That's tomorrow night. It's tomorrow
That's
night.
right. That's right.
This is the Fantasy Showdown.
That's right.
Week 13 edition.
We've been doing it. We kind of got off. We're live on location in Brady, Texas, which is awesome. We've been hunting this weekend. I'm sick, so that's cool. But we're powering through it, making it happen. So I hope you guys can enjoy, even though I can't hardly talk. I mean, what's worse than me not being able to talk, dude? It's pretty bad.
It's bad. It's bad. I killed $2 this weekend.
Nice.
$2.
Are you able to see the stream? I just want to check, because our internet is probably crap out here, by the way.
Let me see. I'm going to see if we can see the stream in America.
I might just have to pause it on here so we don't have two videos going.
The stream is going. Stream is going. I repeat.
All right.
Going.
All right. So you're just going to have to tell me how it goes and keep up with the comments.
Okay. Well, let me switch over there. I'll do that.
All right. Here we go. Week 13. I know that was a big intro with a lot of cool, exciting stuff, which was blah, blah, blah. We did nothing. But I want to talk a lot about week 13 because it's a big week.
Playoffs, baby.
Playoffs, a lot of win or go home situations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a couple that are just win or go home, and I'm trying to fight for some buys and all that kind of crap, which makes it so much easier if you get a bye week. But
you win one game, you're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, you suck in the J.A.R.V.I.S league, by the way. Nolan is he's a shoe in for a bye. We'll talk a lot about, we got some news, some notes, injuries, lots of injuries. Our shit show, of course, recapping 2017 a little bit. We're going to talk about some struggles down the stretch and some people that are coming through down the stretch. Talk about opportunity, because it's all about opportunity in fantasy football. I don't know if you know that. The more opportunity the player gets, the more opportunity for points you get. It's common knowledge. So let's get started, man. My news, the big news of the week, Eli getting benched. What are you doing? Nothing. I've been starting for 251 times, I think. Just gonna end your streak, Eli. We're gonna need you to grab some pine there, bud.
Yeah, and I heard that they said, "Hey, Eli, here's the deal. We'll courtesy start you. We'll courtesy start you. You've been our franchise quarterback for 13 years or whatever. We're gonna courtesy start you, but then we're gonna jerk you and play these other guys." Man, I think Ben McAdoo needs to learn from the Buffalo Bills that pulling your quarterback this late in the season for some trashy McTrasherson is never a good idea.
No.
I hate it for Eli. I don't like Eli. I think he makes stupid faces, but I hate it for him.
He's an arch rival. I've always loved watching him get sacked and go down and make a stupid face when he throws a pick. But I mean, you got to give the guy credit. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion.
He is two-time Super Bowl champion.
He plays in a division with the Dallas Cowboys, which is pretty tough to do. So, are we good?
I think our broadcast was interrupted.
Oh man, that's about right.
We are on location.
We are on location with shitty internet. Speaking of shit shows, that could be our shit show, is the internet.
It's the internet.
I'm pretty sure that we have a couple of squirrels or turkeys on the roof right now pointing a device towards some form of satellite, and that's how you get internet in Brady, Texas.
Yeah, if he'd stopped.
If we can't get it going, we will.
Just record it and we'll upload it.
We'll record and upload. I think me being on the internet is an extra deal on there, but
I'm not on the internet.
you're not on the internet?
No, sir. Yeah, we're interrupted.
Okay.
It's okay. All right, comment. What do you want me to say?
Just say we'll upload it later. And the people who are watching on YouTube right now that got the uploaded video later are like, God, you guys get your shit together and let's go. Let's do this. I can start a new broadcast. Maybe. No. Anyway,
All right.
my shit show is the 2017 season
As a whole.
as a whole.
So tell me, what does that mean?
It means that the entire season was a shit show for us, for NFL, for the players, for everybody. But let me get to your shit show before we get in depth into that.
My shit show is, I think it's my best one of the year, really. So everybody saw the Talib Crabtree fight, right? My shit show
Tyson Holyfield
is Crabtree's left hook because it's garbage. I mean, he threw the left hook and then he was like, "Man, I don't think I want any," and he danced back there in the back. He got his chain pulled off. He even had, I mean, the shit show is that fight as a whole, really. But more importantly, Crabtree hits like a girl.
Yeah, he did. It was embarrassing to watch, and you know how many fights are we going to have with these receivers and cornerbacks? I realize that's their job.
Yeah,
The cornerback's job is to get in the wide receiver's head.
it is.
And then they react, and then it always leads to a lot more. And people get kicked out of the game, and you know.
Who's that? The J.A.R.V.I.S Hopkins beat the crap out of?
It used to be before DeAndre Hopkins is Andre Johnson and what's his name? I can't remember. But yeah, digression. But let's talk about 2017. First of all, you know, 2016 we had a lot of injuries, but it doesn't seem like it was as big time players as what we have now.
That's true.
Let me read you off a little list, and this is in no particular order. Allen Robinson, David Johnson, Spencer Ware, Dalvin Cook, Julian Edelman, Cameron Meredith, Odell Beckham Jr., Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, and Andrew Luck never even got out of the gate.
Man, that's 10 like legit starters.
Yeah, I mean, if that was my fantasy team,
I'd feel pretty good.
I mean, you'd be probably cheating in a 6-team league.
But I mean, you know, like David Johnson was just brutal, and it kind of just set the tone for the whole year. You know, I know Luck got hurt before the season. Cam Meredith, you know, Spencer Ware, but I mean, David Johnson, that injury kind of just took it to a whole new level because I mean that was pretty much everybody's consensus. Numero uno.
Yeah. I mean, it screwed me on the team that I drafted him. I know that. I know it hurt a lot of people. A lot of people. When your top pick goes down, you're in trouble. I mean, you got to hit a lot of lotto tickets on that.
But that's another reason to watch our show in the preseason because, you know, I lost David Johnson in a league and, you know, I was able to have a deep enough bench, work the waiver wire throughout the season to where, you know, I'm still going to make the playoffs. But, you know, I mean, obviously I'd like to have DJ, but I mean, I salvaged it as best I could. I mean, I traded DJ hurt for Lamar Miller in the league.
That's just
And,
beastly.
You know, it helped out.
You know, a lot of people had that hope that he was coming back, you know, and
yeah, not happening.
yeah, I held on to him for like at least 4 weeks before I did anything, and then I decided to drop him. So let's talk about the performances for the year. A lot of inconsistency. One of the most consistent things, though, was and is and probably will be next year is Antonio Brown.
Yes.
My God, I think that he should go first overall every year. Just from now on, we learned our lesson. He should go first overall.
I missed on that this year, you know, because I was kind of like running back transfixed. I was like, okay, you got your Zekes, you got your David Johnsons.
Mhm.
I mean, you got your Todd Gurley's, you know. And, you know, Todd Gurley was a low drafted, but, you know, I was like, I got to get a good running back right off the bat. And I think I'd rather have 20 pints a week. I mean, I really do, because, I mean, Antonio does that every week.
He does. He does. Like a bad week for him is like 14. You know, that's crazy.
It's just nuts. He's consistent.
There were so many players that hiccuped on the way that were on the top. Lev Bell coming out the gate. I mean, he had a few bad games, and people were knee jerking on Lev Bell.
They were knee jerking. I was trying to trade for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he came out slow. You know, he held out of training camp a little bit, and I think that hurt him.
The top 15 running backs were hit or miss. You know, in 2016, that was another big thing. The running backs were all over the map in 2016.
Yeah.
They were pretty much all over the map here, but there was some consistency. Then you had the emergence of Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
Bell was very consistent. I know that he lacked in the beginning, but Todd Gurley is just
beast in it.
Just beast in it. God, I wish I traded for him in one league, which I'm very fortunate to do that. But
that was a good trade.
It was, and yeah, other than a few guys, a handful of guys, it's hit or miss every single week. The top 15 wide receivers, rotating door.
Yep. With some new names in there.
Yeah, there is. Julio only in the top 3 after his huge game that saved his season, basically.
You know, he did that last year.
But he does it every year, I think. That's why I can't own him. It's like, cool, I get that one big win that I probably need, and I probably get a lot more points on my points total, but
it doesn't do you good on a game-to-game basis.
I just can't do it.
It doesn't do you good on a game. That's why we recommended against him early in the season.
So you were saying there's a lot of new names and people that we didn't expect to be in the top 10 for wide receivers. Adam Thielen, absolutely a PPR in America monster. He is. My favorite and yours, Larry Fitzgerald.
Dude does not get old.
We expected big things out of Devontae Adams, but not hanging in the top 10. No,
I didn't expect that, especially after Aaron Rodgers going down. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Hundley is its only guy. I mean,
he looks for.
You can roll him every week.
Yep. What's funny is that first week after he got hurt, you pointed this out to me. I mean, Hundley threw a TD pass to Adams right after that, and it kind of set the tone. I mean, it's like bam, 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 Adams. He's catching 5 for 70
yeah,
TD.
Yeah, you're sitting there cussing, thinking, oh, well, this game is over. My players aren't getting any points from this guy. And then right out the gate, just like you said, he finds Adams. How about the marvelous Marvin Jones? And this is going to be a discussion, okay?
Okay, so this guy is the second coming of Houdini to me because he just straight up disappears.
Here's my question, and I asked you this in the car ride. Is it a reverse of what happened last year with Golden Tate? Because Marvin Jones blew up out of the gate last year, as everybody knows. And everybody was like, oh my God, I got Marvin Jones. I drafted him in the last round, or I picked him up on waivers. And Golden Tate is doing nothing. I ended up dropping Golden Tate in one league last year.
Yeah.
And now it feels a little like it's going to reverse.
I get that, and it very well could. But I think Tate's just had some tough matchups lately. He did get a little banged up too. Nothing that kept him out of games, but kind of hampered him a little bit. I think probably. Well, I'll say this: Baltimore's very injured. I think he has a bounce back this week.
Please
God,
I need him to. I need him to have like at least 11 points, dude. I need him to at least 11. Look at the wide receivers that are outside of the top 10, though.
Yep.
You got Mike Evans. You've got Michael Thomas. You've got Doug Baldwin. You've got Des Bryant. Outside of the top 10.
Crazy. The Bucs have kind of been a little bit of a dumpster fire this year. I mean, just all the way across the board, they've been a dumpster fire. Like, even when Winston was in, he wasn't playing good. So I'm hoping that he got to, like, press the reset button and he's going to come back this week and play well. Because Mike Evans is a beast.
Yeah. Yeah, it crushed him a little bit, but, I mean, he still gets the targets, which is the crazy part.
And then why do you think Mike Thomas?
It's just the same as with J.A.R.V.I.S. It's just that defense. They've got a defense. They have a stallion cornerback who's iffy this week. Mm-hmm. Did we skip the injuries?
We did, but we'll after we we'll do it.
Okay, we'll get to it. Yeah, I mean,
and the running game.
Yeah, the running game. I mean, when you can hand the pellet off and just career it with both of your guys, I mean,
it's like.
Why would Mike. You not do that,
But, Mike hasn't been, he's outside the top 10, but he's been solid.
Yes.
He catches 4 or 5 balls.
He gets all the targets. So
he does.
It's just exactly what everybody expected would happen. Mm-hmm.
Just not as much.
They're just not getting their asses kicked.
That's basically it.
So, I mean, when teams were putting up 40 burgers on them every single week, like, you're like, oh, last year, the simplest part of last year was, who are you going to start? Oh, anybody who's playing the Saints.
Right.
That was the easiest question on the board. You could start me against the Saints last year. Do I even need to mention tight ends? Because I don't.
They don't matter.
Well, there's 3 or 4 consistent like every year. That's all there is to it. It's the same as every year. Mm-hmm. There's 3 or 4 that are consistent, and the rest are garbage.
And even Kelsey hasn't been that consistent.
Oh, dude, it's just garbage.
He's up and down.
It's just garbage. The quarterbacks are all over the map. Wilson, see, I'm like always a year like off. Yeah. Like I went hard after Wilson last year, and then he killed me.
Yeah.
But he was hurt, and I got him only in 1 league this year because I went back to the barrel, and
he's beasting.
He is beasting it up, and dude, they're gonna get him killed if they don't draft some freaking offensive line or something.
Do something.
They've got to, man. They're not gonna have their franchise. I mean, like Pete Carroll is way more concerned with having a good defense than protecting the only guy that can get anything done.
Here's my question: we just said Doug Baldwin's outside the top 10. And Russell Wilson's beasting it. I don't understand.
I don't understand that either.
I don't understand. I think it's going to be better. You were saying in the playoffs, Doug Baldwin tends to get better.
Yeah, he does. He does. Down the stretch, he gets better every year. And I learned my lesson last year. I think he was struggling for like 2 weeks. It wasn't struggling. It was like 7 points,
right.
And then I ended up benching him, and he goes off for 35, and I think I got knocked out of the playoffs, or I got knocked first round eliminated or something.
That'll be a good point for later.
Yeah. Don't do that. Tom Brady doing Tom Brady things, that was to be expected. I had faith in it. Other than that, it's been a little crazy at quarterback. There's people that are not coming through. We kind of expected Wentz to
take a step forward,
do good things, but I mean, he's doing great things. And I guarantee you, I don't care who you are. If you try to tell me that you thought Alex Smith was going to come out and be the number 1 quarterback for 6 weeks, you're a liar. Lie. These are lies. No way.
No way.
No way.
No way.
I'm just saying, and I've been saying this for a long time. Ever since Cam Newton entered the NFL, he's been a top 5 fantasy quarterback except 1 year, and guess what? He is number 6 right now.
He is. My deal with Cam this year is I feel like that they basically threw the script out and said, go ahead and run it. Because, like Cam, if he doesn't run the ball, he has those games where he throws for $174. I mean, if he's not running it, you don't score any points. So they've let him run the ball more this year, which I think is a good thing for his fantasy deal. Maybe not his career, but for fantasy, it's good. But what I hate about Cam is I understand he's top 6, but he's like a Julio Jones top 6. He's like 12.2, 33,
Mm-hmm.
19, 40.
You never know which week is going to be the Cam week.
It's,
But a good thing to do is just look at the run defense too, because that's just like you're saying. If the team is craptastic at stopping the run, their odds are they're going to be craptastic at stopping Cam.
That's right. I agree.
Let's see who else. You called the Matt Ryan huge regression. Derek Carr. Everybody and their dog was on Derek Carr this year. Everybody was. Can't deny that you were. And I understand the injury, but that's not.
Yeah, he was playing bad.
He's playing horribly.
Yeah.
You thought that team, you and I both thought that team would be the Oakland Raiders of last year. That was just tearing people up. Their offense was incredible.
They are not.
They went 11-5 last year, right?
They are not.
Yeah.
Give the ball to Marshawn. God almighty.
And they did recently. But Drew Brees, we talked about, was another one with a good defense. How about Jared Goff crushing it?
Oh, dude, I was just looking at comments to see if anybody put anything up.
Is the feed up?
I don't know. Only 2 minutes long. Yeah. So Jared Goff is a beast, and it all goes back to Todd Lee Gurley. Because when you can run the ball, those rookie quarterbacks, a.k.a. Dak Prescott, end up going off. And that's what that's all about, is the running game.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on in the injury world.
You got it. Okay. So, a little better prepared today. We're going to go alphabetical order by team. We're going to start with Arizona. Adrian Peterson did not practice. He's got a neck injury. I am going to go out on a limb and say he does not play. Kerwin Williams, his number one backup, was a limited participant in practice, and that could leave a big gaping hole at running back. So we need to watch the Arizona situation hard Sunday morning. The Atlanta Falcons, we've got Devonta Freeman is full participant. Obviously good to go this week. Julio's limited, but he's going to do what Julio does. And maybe the biggest injury on their team is Trufant their corner has a concussion and did not practice. That could mean big things for Minnesota. Baltimore, Alex Collins was a full participant. He had a calf injury, no big deal. He's going to play. Going to go quick here. Buffalo, Kelvin Benjamin, he's garbage. He's not going to play. Charles Clay's a limited participant with a knee injury. I kind of think he's going to play.
Yeah.
Jordan Matthews, probably a game time decision with his knee injury. And then LaShawn McCoy, I can literally find nothing on it, but he did not practice Friday.
He's good. They took him off the list. I found something.
They took great because I was stressing out over that. So LaShawn McCoy, strike that. He's good to go. Carolina, Devin Funchess is a full participant. McCaffrey is a limited participant with a shoulder. And everything I can find out on this is it's going to just have to do with him not being a little girl. So it's all about pain tolerance. So if he doesn't play, you can basically say that McCaffrey is selling Girl Scouts cookies. So then we got Olsen last week. He came in, played, caught a pass, went out with that foot injury. X-rays were negative, so he was all good, but it still doesn't feel right. He has not practiced all week. I do not like him to play. Cincinnati, earlier in the week, AJ was limited, but he's a full go. Isaiah Crowell in Cleveland is a full go. In Denver, Paxton Lynch is out. Nobody really cares. Detroit, Amir Abdullah has been a limited participant in practice. I kind of think he's going to go. And then, if you watch football on Thanksgiving, you noticed that Stafford got that ankle injury, but he's been a full participant all week and is good to go. Green Bay, Aaron Jones, limited participant with a knee. This is really going to make the decision on whether you, start a Green Bay running back. I really don't think if Aaron Jones doesn't play, I don't think anybody else is 100% startable. Ty Montgomery is been moved to the IR with that rib injury. He's been dealing with it all year. Sad thing for him. Houston, Fuller did not practice ribs, is not going to play. Lamar Miller, he went out for about a half a quarter with a hip injury last week. He's been a limited participant, but I believe he will play. Over in Oakland, Amari Cooper's out with a concussion, and then Crabtree's an idiot. Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown, big news here.
Ooh, and
Antonio
it happened
Brown.
today, too. Just a few hours ago.
I don't think he's going to play.
You don't think he's going to play?
I don't think he's going to play.
Oh, my God.
I don't think he's going to play. He hasn't practiced all week, but everything I can see is game time decision. So we need to look at that. We just talked about him being consistent. But if he plays, he'll be good to go. In Seattle, Jimmy Cricket Graham, he's been a full participant all week with an ankle. Cam Chancellor, their safety, is out with a neck. So could be a little better running and tight end passing there in Seattle. Tampa Bay, Cameron Brate is a tight end. He's got a hip injury, and he's been a limited participant. Deshaun Jackson's been limited with a foot, but I think he will play.
Yeah.
Doug Martin's out with a concussion. Jameis Winston is going to play this week after his shoulder injury and kind of being benched. I don't know how that works. In Jacksonville, Allen Hurns is out with an ankle. The Rams, Robert, or like we like to say, Bob Woods, he's out with the shoulder again this week, and they have came out and said he's not playing until week 15. Miami, Jarvis Landry's been a limited participant all week. He's going to go. In New England, Chris Hogan's out again. Danny Amendola, limited participant in practice. He'll be a game time deal. New Orleans, they put Colby Fleener on IR. Not that anybody cares. He's a tight end. For the Jets, Matt Forte, surprise, surprise, he's on the injury report. He's a limited participant with a knee. If he does not play, Bilal Powell and Elijah McGuire take a big step up. And then for the Tennessee Titans, Rashard Matthews has been a limited participant with a hammy.
God, I need him.
Man, he went out last week, and sorry, but this is kind of the thing that I look at. If you go out with a hammy in a game, and then the next week after rest, you do not practice, and then you're very limited, man, it's going to be hard to start that guy.
You're going to test it, and then it's going to be...
He could literally play one play and be out.
Yeah.
So that's the injury report, guys. We will look...
There's so
on
many.
Game day and update anything major.
There's so many. It's brutal right now in the injury world. It's just perfect timing as usual, right down the stretch. I mean, something we didn't talk about with the 2017 recap that I wanted to bring up because we can't leave it out. The Zeke saga of every single week for the first 12 weeks or what? I guess he's been out since week 10 or something, or 9 or 10. Yeah. That was a saga. Never knowing if he's going, if he's coming back, if he's going, if he's coming back. I didn't draft him anywhere. I know you did. It sucks for the Cowboys, but it seemed like we got it together last night, which was great. 2017, to sum it up, has been a week-to-week NFL season. So you never know what your player's going to do, what your team's going to do. It is week to week.
Definitely week to week.
It's insane. When you have people like LaShawn McCoy putting up 2 in a week, that's not normal. That's not something that's normal.
That is not normal.
We have Doug Baldwin putting up 3. That's not normal. It's just there's just so much inconsistency. When you have Travis Kelce putting up an egg, it's not normal.
It's not normal.
There's a lot of things. I mean, and so when you're telling players what we do, we recommend players based on maybe the past 3 weeks and matchups and the most educated. We're trying to help you guys with that. So when the crap hits the fan and it's all over the map, it's tough, man. And this was probably the most brutal year for us, for everyone. I mean, it's been nuts.
I mean, I've been telling people to roll people out for the last 3 weeks, and I mean, no rhyme or reason. They just thrown duds. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's been some duds. So, speaking of duds, players that are struggling down the stretch, Dak. And I know that he had a good game last night and brought it back. I made all these notes. Oh, yeah, I mean, like, better game. Mm-hmm. Not a great game. Better game. I mean, he was doing what Dak needs to be doing.
Right.
The problem that he had before was he wasn't running it. 0 rushing attempts for week 12. 2 for 10 yards in week 11. I mean, that is, for the season, he's got 34 for like 247. Yeah. So, and he usually scores a TD.
When he runs it, he scores a TD.
Yeah. No so that really hurt him. Bounced back-ish last night. I mean, I didn't see the total, but I know that it wasn't great. But it was you know.
He didn't throw for a lot of yardage. He threw 2 TDs.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't horrible.
No.
And then the biggest one of all, because we haven't really discussed this because we've been off for 2 weeks. Kareem Hunt.
Oh, man, it hurts my heart. Like, here's the thing, and I know, can I get Patrick Mahomes in the game? I mean, because here's what's going on. Kareem Hunt's still good. He's got a lot of skill. They were getting into him in the passing game early in the season, and he was running the ball. They were getting into him in space, and now all of a sudden, Alex Smith can't throw it over 10 yards, and Andy Reid knows it, so he calls bubble screens every single play, and the safeties come down, and I mean, Kareem doesn't have a chance. And
you could blame blocking as well, because they went from being pretty decent at blocking and then to nothing. And I mean, and you know, just like you said though, even when nobody is in the backfield, you were telling me this, that he's got happy feet. He's ready to run first. He's Russell Wilsoning, but he's not Russell Wilson.
I literally read an article that he drops back to pass, and there's a ton of memes and stuff about it. He gets back to pass, and he starts getting happy feet back there, and he starts going to run, and there is no pressure on him.
Yeah.
Like it's just
it's
a normal
scared
pocket.
Of his shadow.
He's
literally
a normal pocket, and he goes happy feet, throw a pick, and it's like, come on, Alex.
I can't throw it down. I can't throw it down the field now.
Can't throw it.
I don't have enough room. I got to get some space. Oh, it's bad. So, last 4 games. Carries 22, 9, 18, 11. Okay. The 18, though, that was after Andy Reid was nearly booed out of the stadium for not giving him the ball at halftime. And then, I mean, 11, dude. 11.
How does that guy...
4 in the first half.
4 carries.
In the first half.
It's because Alex Smith can't get the ball down the field to move the freaking chains.
And he played 38 snaps last week. So, I mean, it's unbelievable. Fournette kind of worried me a little bit. I hope that I don't understand it. Yeah, he had, 2 weeks ago, he had 28 carries. But in between there was a 17 carry game, and last week it was a 12 carry game. And that really makes me nervous. If they decide in the horrible weather that Blake Bortles is going to make more pass attempts than he has all season long.
Mm-hmm. Man, I know he was dealing with like a little ankle deal in there too, but the week after the ankle, he gets 28 carries, and then next week he gets 12. It's like, man, I don't understand.
He is not on any injury report, by the way.
No, this guy needs to get 20 plus 20. He needs 25 touches in that offense.
Okay, so here's the next one. This one is definitely a concern for me and for a lot of people. For Lee Trammell.
This hurts me a little bit.
J.A.R.V.I.S. So my theory is that
It's a good theory.
since they're kicking so much ass, they don't need him right now, and they want to use him in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You cannot tell me right now, no one can tell me that LeGarrette Blount is better than J.A.R.V.I.S.
No, not in America. He's not.
No, not in America.
Not in America.
But what the deal is LeGarrette Blount is their kind of like when they get ahead, he's their
battering ram.
He's just run the clock guy. Mm-hmm. And that's what's happening too. He's the closer. There you go.
I totally agree. I think that's what's happening to Ajayi, but I think as they come into harder, tougher matchups, I think maybe if you make it to the Super Bowl, he'll be startable. Maybe.
Oh, I don't know. Man, I don't know. I've got to see something. So somebody just needs to. Okay, I would feel better if Philly. I mean, it feels like they don't have to win right now. I'm sure that they're gonna. Obviously, every team is gonna try to win, but I would like to see somebody be competitive with them in the next couple of games or this week. Mm-hmm. Seattle, right? That'll be competitive. I want to see them use Ajayi in a competitive game where they're not blowing the other team out. And that will make me feel better. That'll make my theory look better. And that'll make me feel a little better about J.A.R.V.I.S.
Absolutely.
Next on the list, and this is not a huge worry, but it is a little bit concerning. Mark Ingram. So all season long, I have a team that I had Kamara and Ingram.
Starting both.
Ironically, I also have Michael Thomas on that team.
Wow.
Just like Saints, they just fell to me.
You get like 70 points a week.
They just fell to me, and so I was just like, screw it. But one was just a handcuff, and so I'm rolling them out every week. Well, they've been getting it done, but the last 2 weeks are a little concerning because, I mean, for a while now, Kamara's been just killing it, mm-hmm. But before that, he was still killing it, but Ingram was getting a fair workload. Last 2 weeks, Ingram got 11 carries both games. Mm-hmm. And 2 weeks ago, he produced like 137 yards with it and 2 touchdowns or something. So he careered it on 11 carries. But then he has a game like last week, which was kind of a dud, and I feel like it's just going to be the Kamara show. I mean, everybody in their dog feels like it's going to be Kamara show. I think he's the highest priced player on DraftKings this week.
Crazy.
He's definitely number one on draft. So
crazy.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, when you're putting out like 30 a week, then you got to go with it.
You got to roll.
But yeah, the snap count has been roughly even though, which is the good thing.
Yeah. It may just be game flow and stuff,
Okay, so next one, I don't even know. This is just a good number for everyone. So sorry, I'm trying to breathe. C.J. Anderson, unstartable. But by the way, unstartable. In the 8-team league, I just dropped him for Mike Davis. There's more upside there.
Doesn't matter who.
So last week though, C.J. Anderson got 19 snaps and Booker 26. And it could be a product of them being behind. And I guess Booker is the passing game guy. But
I think Booker's going to be the guy.
If that's the case, though, they're going to be behind every week because
Trevor Siemian can't.
They have 3. The press conference with what's the coach's name? I can't remember. Anyway, a couple of weeks ago, where he was talking about who the starting quarterback was going to be, before Lynch got hurt. He said, "Well, I have 3 really good guys that to choose from." Basically, he was like, "I've got 3 very capable quarterbacks," which made me just fall nearly out of my driver side door,
Brock Osweiler
laughing my ass off.
Not acceptable.
Dude, none of them are good. So it's like
I think Simeon's the best option.
You don't have a single quarterback, rather than you have 3 serviceable ones. You don't have any. Anyway, C.J. Anderson, good God. Tyreek Hill's kind of been struggling, but that's the same product that
they don't throw the ball down the field anymore.
It's Kareem Hunt. I mean, even Kelsey's seeing it. I mean, the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
Des Bryant came back. He came through. He did, but man, he was struggling. I mean, I couldn't recommend anybody playing.
Oh no,
I couldn't, especially on a Thursday night game when they typically don't throw passes.
Dude, he just scored those points on my bench.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you couldn't roll him out. But I mean, moving forward, he's Des Bryant, so he can do Des Bryant things at any given moment. But dude, it's booty. It's the first in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's that. Golden Tate we talked about. 3 receptions, 4 receptions. That was the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, he needs 5 or 6 to be able to be viable.
Yeah.
But, 4 is not that far off. I mean, 3 is not that far off. I mean, I'd like to see him at 8 or 9 like he was earlier in the season.
Yeah.
But,
But he's a reception guy. Is what I'm saying. Like Marvin Jones is a down the field touchdown guy. He shouldn't be the reception guy.
No.
Golden Tate should. That's why you draft him in a PPR in America. It's because he's a reception guy. And if he's not getting the receptions, then he's booty.
Bounce back this week or bench him.
Yeah. What about Emmanuel Sanders with he's had the ankle, but still, man. I mean, he hasn't.
No, he hadn't done much.
I've got him in a couple of leagues, killing me.
Simeon might be better for him.
Yeah, I think it is. It's a product of poor quarterbacks. Ty, do we even need to get into it? It's just Ty is like a DraftKings play because any given week he could go nuts, but he has not been doing it lately. Mm-hmm. So what have you done for me lately? And this is a down the stretch conversation. So I mean, this is when you need them, and you can't depend on them. All of the Baltimore receivers, and Flacco was so close to being my shit show. He's the second to worst quarterback in the league, and I think he's only the only difference is quarterbacks that haven't played very much of the season. Dude, yeah, it is horrible. It is his fault. Less fantasy points than, let's name some. Deshaun Kaiser, Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer's been hurt for 4 weeks.
Why not? Longer than that.
Wow.
Trevor Siemian. Who's worse than Trevor Siemian?
Pretty bad.
I'm just saying, the dude is horrible. And I owe Lee Trammell an apology about dropping Jeremy Maclin because, I mean, Maclin was doing okay, but Flacco is horrible. I mean, he can't get it to the receivers. He can't get it down the field.
But Maclin scored 12
he also dropped Marshawn Lynch. So, I mean, I'm just saying. In order to keep the Kansas City defense, I have to bring this shit up.
Marshawn's on my team now.
Yeah. Congratulations.
I know.
I'm
pretty good about it.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not competing against you right now. Jordy Nelson, I mean, he's gone. Forget it. Jordy without Aaron Rodgers is just like...
He's not startable.
It's like Sonny without Cher.
That's some good music.
A little worried about Alfred Morris. This I wrote before Thursday night. Because I was. He was outsnapped by Rod Smith, 34-20, 2 weeks ago.
Give him the damn.
I know. They needed to. I mean, I couldn't recommend his ass either.
No, you can now.
You can now. I mean, somebody on this that probably should be on this list that I'm not worried about is Melvin Gordon. I think he's fine. Eckler's definitely cut in a little bit, but dude.
I think it's actually a good thing for him because he gets nicked up a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, it'll help him last.
I think it'll help him last.
But and a bad game was like what? Was it like 11 carries or something, or 11 points, or something? It was
11 points.
Yeah, I mean,
but
normal.
you know, he's one of the least productive on a per carry basis running backs in the league. Like fact. He does not average a lot of carry, but they just keep giving it to him.
Yeah, I mean, he needs the carries.
It's the dreadlocks, man.
Yeah, it's something.
They like it.
And he needs that. He gets that goal line work, which is, dude. You know what I didn't know that was so amazing is that the Chargers have not scored a single point on the opening drive this entire season.
Yeah, I saw it too.
I thought that was really cool. I mean, horrible for them.
Yeah, but they're a big offense.
It's just like a hex because in that kicker, I mean, the Cowboys game, he
got hurt.
Got hurt on the kick. It's like, what are you doing? Just kickers going down left and right. Jake Elliott going down. I mean, you just need your kickers. Turning it on down the stretch, though. Some guys that have been kind of putting that juice on. J.A.R.V.I.S, it wasn't
special this last week, but he still came through for what he is.
47 carries. This is before last on Thursday night. 47 carries the 2 weeks prior. He's the only guy, I guess, that Brian Marshall guy has kind of come on a little bit.
Dude, he scored 9 points last week.
Yeah. 217 yards in those 2 weeks. So it's 98 offensive snaps in those 2 weeks. I mean, that's pretty huge.
He is the guy.
Dion Lewis. I feel like you can count on Dion Lewis right now for the Patriots. At any given moment, it's going to be James White and nobody else.
I hate to say it, you're right about Dion Lewis.
But yeah, no, I think they paid all that money for him. They're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis had 28 snaps last week. Burkhead had 28. White had 18. So I mean, I feel good about Lewis. I like Burkhead too.
Yeah.
Lat Murray, man. I'm just saying, you called it. I mean, we all I listened. I couldn't get him anywhere, but I listened. He's averaging 16 touches per game last 7.
You can't tell me that as good as they are passing it right now with Case freaking Keenum, which is amazing. Which, by the way, they're talking about it's a week-to-week thing with him, and it's stupid.
But they need to quit doing that to that boy.
But they're throwing it so well down the field. I mean, Lat Murray is going to be productive. I mean, he's just going to. And they move the ball down the field. He's going to have red zone opportunities. I mean, I like.
He looks good. He looks good, man. Yeah. He looks good. 5 TDs in the last 5 weeks. 40 snaps last week. McKinnon had 33. Mm-hmm. They've been getting ahead. Minnesota's been playing really well. And when they are controlling the game, they're controlling the clock, they're sending Lat out there.
Yep. And
the second that they start, somebody puts up 14 on them before they can score a point, coach is going to be like, Teddy, and it's going to screw them all up. It's going to screw them up. Let that boy play. Let Case Keenum be.
He's been good all year.
Let him be. Cooper Kupp, kind of. I mean, I know that it's a big product of Bob Woods not being there, but he's been getting some serious.
And Samuel Watkins being nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Sammy's didn't come through last week though.
He did. I think he scored TD.
Yeah, but
yeah,
was that on Patrick Peterson too?
I believe it was.
I think so. No, that's this week. That
is his, but it was on a good corner.
It was. I can't remember who it was. Let's see. Devin Funchess, man, I told everybody, I hate being that freaking person that said I told you to buy on him, and I hope a lot of you did because it's paying off. He's an every week starter, and I'm glad that he's going to play this week because the injury was kind of a bad deal. Dontrell Inman, I mean, I'm not saying he's turning it on. I'm just saying, like, I feel better about him than Kendall Wright.
He's going to score 8 points.
Yeah, I mean, he'll get you 8.
Every week.
Beanie Wells used to get you 11.
in a PPR in America.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Shout out to John Hanson, by the way. Corey Coleman. I mean, okay, so yeah, the Josh Gordon deal, it's happening, everything, whatever. And I'm excited to see it. I am. I'm excited to see it.
I'm excited to watch paint dry. I mean, like.
But I'm not going to tell you nothing about it. That's why I'm excited, because I've already told everyone that I'm not giving any kind of. I'm not doing a start sit. I'm not doing anything with Josh Gordon. Nothing. So you're on your own. That's all I'm saying. Mohamed Sanu every week, wide receiver 2.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Every week.
I would like to see more out of this guy, and everybody's crazy about it. It's like the biggest name thrown around right now. But D.D. Westbrook, I'd like to see. He got a lot of targets last week when Blake Bortles was throwing it like 52 times.
Man, I just worry. Yeah.
He's not going to throw it that many times.
Yeah.
But still, we talked about Devontae Adams rolling out every week.
Every week starter.
Your boy and mine, Robbie Anderson.
I drafted him in 5 weeks.
Get him in your lineups. Jamison Crowder turning it on. Finally, I hate that guy. I hate his face. I mean, why would you do that to us the entire year and then do what we thought you were going to do while we drafted him?
Is it Kirky?
I
don't know.
I think it's like the play calling, or I don't know what it is. It's like quit being a check down Charlie or something.
Yeah.
And then Vernon Davis disappears completely.
Right.
It's like he was getting you 8 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he started hitting Josh Doxson instead.
Yeah, it's nuts over there. I'm big surprised on Marvin Jones. I'm going to bring that up again. How about Joe Mixon? Did Marvin Lewis finally say, "Oh my God, did I have a running back?"
Finally.
God, what an ignorant ass. So yeah, that's who's turning on down the stretch, and everybody needs it. Especially with all these players out, you need people that turn the shit on. It's all about opportunity. That's what you need. All your players need opportunity. I wanted to talk a little bit about this year's opportunities. I'm going to go through it quick, but I think it's an interesting thing to cover. You want to draft these players every single year. The ones that get more looks, more targets, more carries, all of that. So here's your targets for wide receivers, top 15. Antonio Brown, 126. D-Hop, 125. Jarvis Landry, 117. Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, Larry Fitz, Mike Thomas, Dez still has 102 targets.
Crazy.
That's good. Julio has 101. Look at Julio down at number 9. Number 10 is Mike Evans. So he is still top 10 in targets. It's just, are they Ryan Fitzpatrick targets? Are they Jameis Winston targets?
Right.
Doesn't matter. Ugh. I was big on Winston coming in.
Me too.
Demaryius Thomas he's a target machine. 96 for him. Devontae Adams, 91. A.J. Green, 91. I figured his would be a lot higher. Alshon Jeffrey, 89, and Doug Baldwin's 88. So there's your top 15. You have some players that are outside of that are supposed to be number ones. You need to be worried about them.
That's right.
Running back targets. So I thought this was cool. McCaffrey, surprise, surprise, 84 targets. I mean, he's there.
That's what he does.
That's what he does. Lev Bell, 76. Carlos Hyde, 73. Kamara, 69. Duke Johnson, 59, tied with Todd Gurley and James White. I think James White is going to fall off of that.
Yeah.
I thought that this was interesting too, though, is Melvin Gordon has 58 targets this year. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty big. So, I mean, that's another thing.
That's really the only reason he's been serviceable this year.
How about carry leaders? Now, these guys are the ones are your bread and butter. Lev Bell, 252 carries this year. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. We haven't finished the season. I mean, for them, there's another, 4 weeks? 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. let's see, Jordan Howard or Gurley comes in after him, then Jordan Howard, then Shady, then Zeke had 191, Melvin, Fournette, Kareem Hunt, number 8 in carries. And in the last few weeks, it's been trash. Then Lamar Miller and Mark Ingram.
Everybody was down on Lamar Miller going into this year, and I didn't understand why.
I was a Lamar Miller guy last year, but not as big as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I got drafted in one league, but I don't know what it is.
I like Lamar.
The question was, could he hold up last year? And he kind of got a little dinged up.
He did towards the end, for sure.
But I mean, he's had a little bit of help this year. Well, he had Foreman for a long time, so that was a big help, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about Week 13. I know I just wanted to recap a lot of things because it's about to be playoffs, and some of you people that aren't making the playoffs aren't going to give a shit next week or 2 weeks from now.
That's right.
So let's talk about matchups this week. Your quarterbacks. Who is your favorite quarterback this week?
I mean, you know I'm a Phillip Rivers fan.
Dude, Phillip Rivers has a great matchup against Cleveland. Kirk played Dallas last night. I thought that was going to be a good matchup, but he kind of shit the bed.
He did.
He shit the bed for me, pooped the pillows, dampened the down feathers.
Soiled the sheets.
Soiled the sheets.
I like it.
Dude, that was that probably ended my playoff run in one league.
You never know.
Because the other guy had Alfred Morris, like Randy. I mean, you're killing me. Jared Goff against Arizona is big.
Jared Goff's just big, period.
He is, dude. He is. Somebody asked Garoppolo over Goff this week. Like asked, should they start? No, dude. Jared Goff is the number 7 quarterback in the PPR in America right now. Tyrod against New England, dude. I mean, the guy's going to get threatened to be benched, but you can't get any better than that matchup. Anybody I'm leaving out you like?
This week, there's the big names that you're going to start no matter what. I mean, Tom Brady.
T-Braid against Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Buffalo's been okay, but they've also been torched. I mean, you're going to start those guys anyway.
Russell Wilson, that kind of stuff.
You're going to start Russell no matter what. I
mean, running backs, man, the best matchup I've seen. Fournette against Indy. Fournette is going to kill it for you this week.
I hope so. I needed to.
I needed to too. Jordan Howard against San Francisco, worst running.
It's a historically bad rush defense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and last week was rough. So it was tough. I had to roll Howard out because he's been getting the volume. That's just
how do you predict like 6 carries or whatever?
Yeah, it was rough, man.
7 carries for
they just got their poop pushed in. Shady against New England should be big. I like Dion Lewis and Rex Burkhead against the Buffalo D that got torched.
Yep.
So love that. Who sucked against Buffalo last week? I can't remember. Somebody that should have. Oh, it's Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Good Lord. How do you suck against Buffalo? Been getting torched on the ground. God, no. Peterson may be hurt, but Rams
can't stop the run.
They can't stop the run. Can't stop the run. Can't stop the run. Wide receiver matchups. D-Hop at Tennessee. That's my by far and away my favorite this week.
Absolutely.
I'm getting him in every single DraftKings I can. I'm paying for him.
Dude.
I'm doing it.
I like it.
Mike Evans at Green Bay.
And their secondary was banged up, by the way.
Yeah. Devontae Adams on the opposite side against Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Crowder at Dallas. Did that. Robbie Anderson at KC.
I like it.
I'm big on McCown and Anderson this week. I wish, I hope, I pray, I know that it's probably not going to happen, but I wish Rashard Matthews was okay because that would be Houston has been terrible against receivers. So if he doesn't go, then Corey Davis maybe.
Right.
Could be a sneaky play. Your bad matchups. Now, I want to reverse one of these because you told me, is Trufant out? Did you mention?
Trufant is out.
Trufant is out for Atlanta. Now, I can't remember their other corner, but he's not Trufant caliber.
No.
I had Stephon Diggs on here.
For a bad matchup.
For a bad. And now I'm like running.
Yep.
Running. So reverse that before we get into this.
And I know you got Tom Brady down against Buffalo as a bad matchup, but
it's never bad.
They got absolutely torn.
Yeah, it's never really bad. It's never really bad for Tom Brady, no matter who it is. Russell Wilson against Philly isn't great.
It isn't great, but he's going to have to pass it.
Yeah, because you cannot run the ball in Philly. So I don't give a crap who's back there.
J.D. McKissick.
They can't run it anyway, so I'm just saying. But Mike Davis is playing.
You know what would be a good idea is if you gave Eddie Lacy 22 touches.
Oh my God, Eddie Lacy, just go.
He did
go
like 2 weeks
away.
Just, like 2 weeks ago, he got like 20 touches.
I know. Go
Crazy.
away. Carson Wentz on the opposite side against Seattle. I know they are depleted in the secondary, but they can still get to the quarterback. Is the thing.
They can, but about half their roster is hurt on defense right now.
So I'm not terrified of it by any means.
Nah.
And Wentz has been just laying the hat. Matthew Stafford at Baltimore, and with the ankle, it's going to be bad.
It's going to be bad. Jimmy Smith is hurt, but they're all going to play, but they're kind of banged up. I still think it's a bad match.
Oh, it's going to be bad. Running backs. Now, you would say Todd Gurley at Arizona, but I don't think so. I think Todd Gurley, I think you've got to run the ball on Arizona.
The thing is that Todd Gurley, like I chose 1 week, he had a bad matchup rushing the ball, still came through because he catches the ball. So they're going to use him. They're going to get him the ball no matter what, which is what Kansas City ought to do with Kareem Hunt, but won't do it. Gurley's matchup proof.
Yeah, I mean, he is. The same with Kamara. I mean, Carolina is supposedly good against the run, but I think they got ran on last week.
They did. Thomas Davis got injured.
That's big. Joe Mixon against Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
it's not going to be great. Even if he does get a lot more carries, it's not going to be the best matchup. And Tennessee can stop the run.
They can.
Lamar Miller, I'm worried about him this week. Tevin Coleman and Freeman's playing, so both of those guys, the Minnesota run defense is a force to be reckoned with.
It is.
So I'm worried about those two guys.
They don't even give up passes out of the backfield.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. On the wide receiver front, Antonio Brown doesn't matter. I mean, well, if he plays, it doesn't matter. And AJ Green against Pittsburgh is kind of worrisome. And he has not been AJ Green this year. No,
but Andy Dalton's garbage.
Yeah, well, the line is garbage, I think. Jarvis Landry, Talib is out, but still.
And Jarvis, he's on the injury report. So.
Yeah. Larry Fitz against the Rams. You're rolling most of these guys out, but it's still good. It's going to be tricky. I didn't think Dez was going to be good against Washington. I had that on the list, but came through.
Yeah, they didn't shadow him with Norman.
Marvin Jones and Golden Tate against Baltimore. That's my last one. Bold predictions from Brady, Texas.
Okay, we talked about him being underperforming earlier, but Mike Evans is going to go over 100 yards this week. Going over 100. Would you like another one?
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I got you one. How about Marshawn Lynch scores 20 points in a PPR league in America this week?
Oh, man. Dude, you know how much I've hated Marshawn Lynch all year.
Do you remember the last time when I said Isaiah Crowell was going to rush for 100 and he rushed for 94?
Yeah, I'm just saying you called it.
I think Marshawn Lynch is going to go off this week.
Get him in your lineup. I mean, Nolan has spoken.
I've been calling.
All right, you got another one?
I think Kareem Hunt scores over 12 points. I don't know if that's bold or not, but considering how garbage he's been, I think it's kind of bold.
Ugh, yeah, it's bold. For me, it is Gurley against the Arizona Run D, 100 yards rushing, 60 yards receiving.
Ooh,
Yeah,
big game.
Gurley is going off
Big game early.
tomorrow. My next one is since we have the injuries for Atlanta, Stephon Diggs is going to have 100 plus. Stephon Diggs is going to do Stephon Diggs things.
I hope so.
Tomorrow.
We need him to do it.
And then I think I called this one out a couple of times this season, but I'm going to do it again. Phillip Rivers for over 300 yards.
Yes, sir.
And congratulations to Nolan for his first buck this weekend, and then another one followed up. I mean, this dude, he's
a luck box.
He's so lucky, dude. Like, I can sit in the deer stand every day for weeks on end and not get the buck that I want. You know, like I've been hunting, and his first time, he's like, "Oh, deer hunting. Let's go this morning." Okay, we've been in the stand. Is it legal shooting time? Because there's like nine bucks on there. We're window shopping at daylight, and then in the evening, I think that we were there maybe an hour, and a bigger buck rolls in. So I mean, it's just like I was trying to tell Nolan, I'm like, this is for all you hunters out there. This is not how this normally happens. I mean, there's been years where I haven't even taken one. So. Heck of a job,
dude.
And tune in for Outdoors with Nolan and Chad. That will be airing sometime.
If we do that, can I wear a face paint?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you must wear a face paint.
I'm in.
We need to grow beards.
Hey, good luck this week, guys.
Thank you, guys. So the feed picked up?
It did.
Good.
Oh!
We didn't really